It'd be absolutely amazing to win. It'd be incredible, considering we haven't won in our entire existence. To win would be amazing.
Obviously, we've put as a team, and myself as well, many hours in this, and it's always good to see that what you've done is actually at a high level.
It'd just be proof that all of our hard work has, gone towards such a massive achievement. Obviously, every university puts in a lot of time, a lot of effort, but yeah, it would be amazing if we won.
It is a big challenge. It is a big challenge.
Obviously, it is a difficult competition. You've got such a variety in the paddock. You've got teams which are just starting out. You've got teams which have been here for years and have loads of funding, have come from across the world and things like that. So we do have to kind of manage our expectations a little bit. At the end of the day, if we try our best and we know we have put every ounce of effort in, I'm going to be happy with whatever result we get, because I know that the team has been doing the best that they can.
So any effort put in the team is a breakthrough straight away.
Without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you the Leeds Gryphon Racing F23 IC.
So, what is Formula Shoot?
It's a competition run by the IMechE. Basically, you form a team, you make a car within the rules that they set, and then if you pass the tests, you get to run it at Silverstone, which is pretty cool.
The best way I can describe it is kind of like making go-karts on steroids. So we've got teams from all over the UK who build a Formula 1 style car, and then we compete against each other at Silverstone. Unfortunately, not against each other like in an actual race, but it's more like time trials and things like that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun and a lot of really good hands-on experience for everybody.
So it is essentially a full company-like experience with the whole concept of working as a team, the whole concept of designing things from scratch, going to design reviews, talking to experienced team members, experienced staff members, and going through the whole process that you would normally do for product design in the industry. So it's a small industry at the university to an extent.
Leeds Gryphon Racing has been going on for the past 25 years now.
Still one of the oldest one in the whole of UK. It actually started 2 years before Formula Student has entered the UK. We started back in the US with the first races. So Formula Students here at Leeds have been quite prominent, and it's quite a name in the team itself. Every time we show up to the university competitions at Silverstone, it's always a big name, and we always get a very warm welcome.
We haven't actually ever won one, but we've come pretty close a couple of times, and we're on a steady incline now to hopefully be getting those top 10 sort of results. So really looking forward to this year, and hopefully getting a good result for the team.
Width of the well built. I know it gets the ball because the wider it gets, the more in actual if you can do that, well, I just pop over there.
When it comes to engineering, a lot of it is like maths and stuff like that. And I knew when I came into engineering, I wanted to do something very much hands-on.
Basically, when I've seen students actually working hands-on with tools, working with the actual true car, working on something as if they're in a workshop, it just got me excited. I like academics a lot. I like to understand the theory of things, but putting your hands down to practice is something that got me very excited.
So the kind of Formula Student team was a really good opportunity to do that, because I saw that they were letting people in like first year, things like that. A lot of teams usually don't let you do that. So I immediately went for that opportunity, and it meant that I could really get the experience that a lot of other people wouldn't. So like they let us design everything, we can make mistakes, we can figure out how to correct those mistakes and really learn from that. So I think that was one of the main reasons I wanted to go for Formula Student, is that real ability to like get my hands dirty and do stuff myself.
I did an EPQ at high school alongside my A-levels, and I did that on underbody ground effect aerodynamics, and it's a reintroduction into Formula One, so I really enjoyed that project, and that made me want to join the team.
As you can see, that's the pedal box, and this bit on the bottom here, you see that little frame there. They're so reliant on these tiny little holes.
The hard part is obviously first designing the car. You'd think it'd be quite simple, but in reality you've got to do loads of like analysis and calculations, making sure that everything fits together correctly. And then obviously once you've got a general working car, you want to be able to reduce that weight, increase the performance, things like that.
Initially at the start of the year we kind of set out what we needed to change with the chassis, and the chassis itself, in the rules you have to have a significant change, but that's quite a grey area. So we weren't sure how much we needed to change, so we were happy with the rear and the cockpit. So the main change we did was on the front.
And then once we got to that stage where everything's kind of finalised and ready to be manufactured, that's when everything really starts to kick into high gear. So we get everybody involved, ordering all our stuff in.
We get the tubing notched, so we don't have to do most of the actual cutting of the tubing. That all comes for us, but we have to do all the rolling. So the roll hoops, we cut and roll ourselves, which can be challenging.
Once that's complete and we got the whole chassis and everything, engine goes in, all your electrics, your drivetrain, everything, then you've got a completed car.
It sounds easy if everything comes together, but it really isn't. It is a lot harder than it sounds.
Just a sort of quick introduction as to what has been done over Easter. So obviously plenty of you have showed up to the workshop, which is very good, but still a strong message from Colin is that we need to keep the rate. We need people coming to the workshop to actually get this car done, and so that we're ready for Silverstone.
This time it's 80 days, but those are not all working days, etc. But you're on that run to Silverstone now.
So there's obviously a lot of sort of manufacturing in terms of the pedal box is ready. We've got some wishbone components that are going on the chassis, but the car itself still looks quite similar to how it was before. So obviously there's plenty of work to be done.
Because in effect it takes both management and leadership, because otherwise everything it all falls apart.
Now obviously the deadlines are coming in and you're submitting some stuff. If you've got an hour, if you've got a day, and between some examinations you need a bit of a break, you need a sort of a breather, do go to the workshop, chat with people, get out of the room, go chat to some people and help with the manufacturing of the car.
And a reminder of the bathtub curve, that what you are most vulnerable to is this early failure, right at the beginning of life. You need to at least get it there. You don't need to make sure it lasts forever, but you need to get it there and running. And it's a classic diagram, but it's true. You have to make sure it works at the beginning and runs. What we're not looking for is perfection. It is looking for things that it will work. It's got to be resilient, it's got to be reliant. Get it finished, get it tried, get it tested, find if it breaks or it doesn't break, but that it works.
It's been really interesting because we started out really strong. We got the chassis built pretty much within the first semester, so we're really ahead of the game there. And then things just slow down as people's workload becomes heavier with uni and things. But obviously with people having to give up their time and things, it's difficult to work around building the car and university, which I think is probably one of the bigger problems of the team. We don't want people to do bad in the course because of Formula Student.
But obviously it took away some of my free time at university, but it's a very rewarding experience.
It's a tricky one. You really have to be on the ball to balance both.
do have quite busy days, but I like structure. So having time like dedicated to, I go to lectures here, I do former student work here, it kind of just keeps me busy.
It's very good to see people passionate around you, so also who you surround yourself with. Even if you feel a bit down, you feel a bit overwhelmed, you've got people that, you know, maybe might have some experience from other years, might have some other insight. It's just basically some advice as to like maybe how you time your day, how you approach scheduling your stuff.
You have to really plan out how things are going to be going. So it's trying to make sure that we do strike that balance and that people are free to kind of set back if they need to.
If you had to spare one of those plates, I'd say have a go at bending it.
But we don't.
So you can just...
That's what I was worried about, because I don't want it to like just
just make hand drawings.
Yeah.
Try and put them in sort of... It doesn't have to be perfect.
well, because I've already marked it.
Silverstone, it's a 4-day event.
First 3 days is very similar to the F1 weekend. So Wednesday, people arrive, not much is happening, we can already work on the car, but Thursday and Friday is the 2 days of scrutineering.
For Formula Student, there is a massive set of rules. We're talking like hundreds of pages. This would be stuff from like how sharp edges can be for wings, driver positioning, engine types, things like this.
So for scrutineering, it's basically you take your car and some judges look over it and basically make sure that it's all completely within the rules.
You want to try and get through that as quickly as possible, so then you can either test or just refine things. But that can take a while because there's always those little things that didn't go quite as right, so you just got to fix that. And then as soon as you're through that, it's the main events. So you've got the acceleration, skid pad, endurance, all events which are key at getting those points. So there's a lot of things to consider, which is probably one of the things why Formula Student is actually so difficult.
5 minutes? Yeah.
Adversity you have to deal with each and every year. But again, this year, whether it was the finances or it was the moving of the workshops or you name it, each year there's some adversity, but you have risen to the challenge of that adversity. Well done. Who knows what the result will be, but you've started really well, and to get to this unveiling is remarkable. So well done, wear your badges with pride. Thank you.
Well, we're currently at Silverstone, competing in Former Student UK 2023. We've came down from Leeds, we set up camp and everything, set up the garage, made our final few tweaks with the livery and things like that. That was like the first day here. And then Thursday it was scrutineering, so they basically roll the car into this area, we get a load of judges and they make sure that our car is safe. We didn't get through that day. There's a couple of minor things we need changing, and then Friday, literally just at the last moment, we were waiting in the queue. They basically said, like, no, that's it, you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow now because there's no way you're getting in. We still stayed there just in case somebody came to like check that one little thing that we just fixed. And luckily the guy came to us like, right, come on boys, let's get you in. And they looked over and we managed to pass technical and safety that day. So Friday was an amazing high. It was really great for the team, literally last moment getting in. And we thought that we'd be able to go through noise and brake pretty simple. Unfortunately, go to noise and then just for some reason, things just started to break a little bit. It was quite unfortunate. We had our starter motor that's basically designed to crank the engine first to get it running properly. That basically completely died on us.
Initially it started cranking slower. Essentially the motor we had been burnt out. Sort of understandable considering it's a 2013 engine, so it's had best part of 10 years running.
We pretty much thought it was game over then, but luckily we managed to find a spare for a really unique part that's pretty hard to find. Luckily we found it. One of the guys travels 40 minutes down the road to go and grab it for us.
Double checked that and found out that it was essentially spinning the wrong way, so we had to modify that ourselves, flip the polarity, get it spinning the right way.
It finally started, we go, it's like working, we go into the noise area, crank it, nothing.
So, back to the drawing board again, take it back to the garage, take it apart. It turns out the magnets inside the second one had basically shattered and torn themselves apart.
We had to get some people to get the old one, the new one, and basically Frankenstein it together. Somehow that managed to work. So then we passed noise today, for first time actually getting to try it with running the engine, and then it was just at the last moment with brake test.
Guys, it's not gonna do. Yeah. It's gone.
We got in there and again the start motor just died, which is just really unfortunate. So we're literally that close to passing, but it just wasn't our day today, unfortunately.
It's okay.
I think it's been quite an emotional roller coaster this weekend. On one hand, I'm quite frustrated that it's gone this way, but on the other hand, it is something that it wasn't particularly our fault that it happened. Everything that the team has designed and we put together has actually worked pretty much flawlessly. It's actually been a really well-built car this year, but it's just really unlucky that something like this has failed.
I'm always proud of the team when it gets here. That's the, you know, it's all well and good having these test days where, you know, it runs, although that is one of the other things I was very proud of the team for is the fact that, fair enough, we haven't necessarily ran here and been to endurance, been to sprint and all that sort of stuff. We haven't done that this year, but it's more a case of we've proven to ourselves that we can do it, and we have done it. It's just a case of some things that are pretty outside of our control have stopped us from reaching those points this weekend.
So I'm still really proud of the team and what they put in, because literally right down to the last minute they were working their asses off trying to get everything put together, and you could really see the team just working together to get everything done.
If you were to ask me how I thought it would go at the beginning of last year, I would be happy with where we've come to. Even though we didn't get to properly run, we have run, and it's proved that it can run well and consistently.
And I think we should definitely be proud of where we are today, because the long and the short of it is it's nothing that we've done or manufactured or designed on the car has really gone wrong.
So I'm really proud of the team. I'm just like, I think as I said before, any result we get, I'm still going to be happy, because we really have tried hard this year. Even though we didn't get through, I'm still pretty pleased with how the team has been doing.
One thing that I'll definitely take away from this year as a whole is that sort of mentality of, okay, it's happened, so what do we do about it? And just going from there, really.
It's been quite a useful learning opportunity for the team, and hopefully everybody's had a little bit like character building that they can take into like the either future careers or the next year of uni and things. And then it's also, I guess, we can take away almost the resilience of what we've been doing this weekend. The fact that we didn't really ever give up at any point until we were basically finished anyway.
It's sort of any effort put in the team is a victory straight away. So I'm with the sort of very confident, with high confidence, I can say that I don't regret not being first, because it's not about that to me. It's about all the things I've learned along the way.
The main thing I've been saying to people this week is there's nothing else like this. You know, I'm sat here in the old pit straight of Silverstone with the old podium over my left shoulder, where, you know, drivers like Ayrton Senna, Damon Hill, Alan Prost have all stood.
It's always great to come down here to see, first of all, you're on Silverstone, which is kind of nuts in the first place. You actually get to walk on the track. And then secondly, it's really fun to see like all the different teams and like what they've come up with, how they've interpreted the rules.
You know, you're here with a car that you got the chance to build, put together, design. It's seeing something that you've done and seeing it actually run and be proud of it. It was definitely something to consider, is the fact that you do get the chance to, you know, make something that you can most definitely be proud of, and stand up and say, you know what, I did that. It's an experience really like no other.
It's a great way to meet other people who are doing a similar course to you, who have similar passions to you. It's a great way to just get involved and have something you can kind of look at and say, oh, I designed that, and it's there, it's real, I made it.
Not only did it give me the experience, it shaped me as a both person and as an engineer. I can sort of definitely sense that the way I approach problems is more systematic, it's more organized.
It's made me a lot more confident, I think. I'd say before I came into Formula Student I was quite shy-ish, but since coming to the team I've been able to interact with a load of people. I've been doing stuff that I really wouldn't have thought I'd be doing, and that's helped me to like kind of boost my confidence and know like I can do these things.
It's very good. It's very good as a sort of both experience-wise in terms of academics, practice, and also social. So I hope that the next year will very sort of keep it going, get through all the obstacles. We've got a very solid team coming up for next year as well.
It's such a rewarding experience. I know it sounds cliche me saying this, but I really could not recommend it highly enough. It's a brilliant opportunity for people.